Hi everyone. I am coming on and y'all, I really wanted to have this conversation. Um it I guess I'll wait for the people to come on. I'm just trying to figure out, really, I have so much to say. Even though, like, I have some issues in the family. And what I mean, my YouTube family, I've been on restriction. I'm on community guidelines. The crazy thing is, I don't really know what the guidelines are. And I guess I got too many warnings. And so there's some good things. I'm going to, in the next few months, I'm going to tone it down a little bit because I'm on restriction. I think I'm really making maybe the opposite sex a little upset, and so they're reporting me. And I'm not there to do this. I'm here to bring enlightenment. I'm here to bring a sense of how can I say, education from my perspective. And so it's been kind of rather interesting. I've been in this place once before when I was on, when I, especially on Facebook, because I was kind of in jail for like 2 years, but now I'm in jail with YouTube, and I don't even know their community guidelines, so I am just not, I don't even know what to say. I just don't know because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So, I came on because there's some beautiful things happening in like, there's a lot of things happening. With a lot of things happening, there's layered and laced, is that golden thread, if that's the best way to say. It's like a golden thread, and if you have been doing your work, and if you've been doing, like, elevating yourself and doing your healing and everything, and not listening to the noise out there, and trying to, find your purpose, know who you are, know what your purpose here is for. It kind of, you don't hear the noise as much, if you get what I'm saying. You don't really hear the noise because you're working on your purpose, you're working on what you're trying to do in the collective. And as you know, I want to thank you for coming on my channel. I want to thank you for following and watching, and because you don't have to, there's hundreds and thousands of YouTubers. You don't have to. And I'm like, I haven't even got all my stuff set up because, you guys, let me tell you, I am a business owner. I'm developing and branding my business. I'm also a YouTuber. I'm also a social media influencer. And so it's a lot. And so I really appreciate the fact that you guys have been so patient with me, and so loving. Even the ones that just, I know some of the stuff that I may talk about, it may be controversial, but I have so much to talk about tonight. So, as you know, I had on my channel, we did a healing and noni fast celebration last year, and I actually explained how to do a noni fast, how to heal yourself, and how to get yourself prepared after you've been through hardship, maybe a breakup, maybe a friendship that broke up, found out a friend was an enemy. It's many reasons we do these things. It's many reasons that we have to, break off relationships. So during that time, I said, women are going through this evolution, and with the beautiful evolution, what I love about it is it's causing women to go within, and they're starting to really do mirroring. Is that the best way to say? Is mirroring within inside themselves of what they want to be, who they want to be, and how they want to show up in the world. And I think that is very threatening in our society because women are having this evolution. Look what's going on in our in our government. Think about what's going on. Does this mean this person is qualified? No, it's the evolution of women. And so the thing about the evolution of women, it doesn't necessarily mean that maybe her evolution is monitored in a right way. She's having her evolution, and everybody evolves in a different way. Some people evolve with this just ever since knowing, right? And some people come out of just like a fish coming out of the water. They flapping and they're everywhere until they find their place, right? And so that's what's really happening with women in our society. That's what's happening. And then now what you're seeing is you're starting to see the evolution of the men. And the only reason I say this, you guys, is the evolution. I'm starting to date again. I'm back out there. Yay! Yay! Thank you. And if you want to see my dating journey, you can actually go on TikTok, and I'm going to be doing my dating journey on TikTok. My TikTok handle is Hey Gorgeous You. You can find me on TikTok. Very easy to find me. Hey Gorgeous You. And it's so crazy because the reason I came on, because like I said, I'm back into the dating world and I am dating a lot. I do not know. Do not know how I am managing all of this. I feel like I'm a mad musician because I am coaching, running a small business, and I am doing right now I am doing a doggone dating. I can't believe I'm dating like this, right? So I had something crazy happen this morning. I had a date, and I have been so busy last week, and this is so crazy. I don't know what it is. I'm a Scorpio, and I love dating Scorpio men. So this guy that I've been talking to him about 5 months, and he's a Scorpio, and I've been wanting to get this date with this guy. He approached me, but he's been, he just, sold his house, moving into a new house. He had, and he's like one of those like handymans. He can do everything. And he is just, Scorpio man, Scorpio man. So, anywho, he called me last week and he said, would you like to go for breakfast? So we were gonna go for breakfast on Saturday, but he went to go look at a house. So he texted me, he said, hey, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Do you think we can do Sunday? I said, sure, we can do Sunday. So I picked out the coffee shop. I met him. I went to the coffee shop. I get to the coffee shop and I'm sitting there, and it's getting time, it's getting past the time that he's supposed to be there. And then I'm like waiting and waiting. I'm like, oh my gosh, now is like 15 minutes the time, and I'm a timely person. I like to be on time. So I'm like waiting for him, and I'm just like, what is going on? And I'm like thinking, did this guy stand me up? This guy stand me up? And I'm just like, okay, and I'm trying to keep my cool, but I paused. So I go and I look in my purse and I look for my phone. Guess what, you guys? I totally left my phone at home. So in my head, I think, oh, he'll just show up. And so I'm going to give him 15 more minutes. So I gave him 15 more minutes. Long story short, I end up waiting half hour. I go home. I get home. There's my phone. And he's texting me. And he said, I'm going to give you 10 more minutes. Like, in fact, he said, I'm going to give you 10 more minutes. And it was 10 more minutes when I was sitting at the other restaurant. I'm going to give you 10 more minutes. Then I'm leaving. And literally, I live in Midtown. I live in the city, and he lives way out in the boonies. So he came a long way to to take me to breakfast. Okay, so here I am. And so I get my phone and I see that he's somewhere else, and I text him. I feel awful because this is a guy that I'm really feeling. I really think he's really cool. And so I've really been wanting this date. I've been wanting this date. I mean, we've been talking for like 5 months. I've been wanting this date for quite a bit, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm just like, so I text him and I go, I am so sorry. I ended up giving him the wrong address. I gave him the Lazarus. I gave him I gave him the coffee shop on by my house. No, I gave him the coffee shop on another street, and then I was at the coffee shop on another street, and it was just like I kid you not, my morning was insane. So I was so embarrassed, and so I was just like, oh my god. So I reached out to him. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. I just like, you know what? I messed that one up. I really messed it up. So finally, he did text me, and he's the one that told me you gave me the wrong address. So I had given him the wrong address. Now, will I get another date from him? I don't know. I'm just gonna let it kind of, because you know how Scorpio men can be. So but in the meantime, I'm dating about 3 to 4 times a week. So this situation really taught me something. I need to start putting a schedule for my dating. So, because, when I'm dating, and one thing I'm going to tell feminine energy, when you're dating and you're thinking of seeing, when you're seeing men, one thing I will say, don't just date one person. Don't just date one person. Date several men until you find your match. I've taken 2 men on a date. You know, date several men until just because you're dating several men, you don't sleep with these several men, women. Okay, I'm telling you, girls, don't sleep with them. But what you're going to do is you're going to date because you're trying to vibe you're trying to vibe with them. You're trying to figure out where they're at, where their head is, and this is really hard for women to do. It's hard for them to date several people. I am telling you, when you're totally healed, you will date with perspective. And the one thing about being totally healed, when you're totally healed, like people can't pull the wool over your eyes. They can't gaslight you with all these emotions because, like right now, I have a guy that's pursuing me extremely hard. And what I do is whenever he comes in too close, I tell him you have to set boundaries with men. Because what happens is they start telling you and giving you a future without giving you a commitment. And then what happens, you get stuck in the future, and they will drag that future on to get what they need from you. Because you got to understand that not every person that you date is actually good for you. They could be energy vampires. They could be, narcissists. We know that term is being used a lot lately because it's a lot of that going on, and so it's so crazy because the most interesting thing that happened is that after that happened to me today, I started realizing I needed to be scheduled because, like, when you like I said, when you did that mantra, and we did that mantra, and we did Noni fast, and I told the men to pull back and start working on themselves, telling the women to pull back and start working on themselves and really focus on your I am, really focus on you and begin to flower inside. Because when you don't allow anyone in, because your portal is powerful. Girls, hear me and hear me straight. Your portal is powerful. It has the ability to bring life into this reality. You don't want just anything in there, because that's what we talked about last year. It becomes a soul tie, and you become tied to someone that doesn't mean well for you. And I think y'all remember last year that I was dating. I was dating. Well, it was like 2 years ago. I can't believe how time has just gone so fast. I was dating. I was dating one guy. I broke up with that guy. Then started seeing another guy, and then the second guy, and they both had the same name. And you know what source told me? This is what's so interesting. When you're on this journey and you're engaging with people, you will feel like, especially if you're ever present, you will find that you're doing a deja vu. And what I mean in a deja vu, you're repeating actions and reactions over and over again until you learn your lesson. So this is what's so interesting to how I got this, because I was in a two and a half year relationship with a guy that had the R name. I'm not gonna say his name, but I'm gonna say his initial R. And then I was dating the second R, but I didn't even heal from the first R, and I went into the second R. And then the second R gaslighted me. Not only did he gaslight me, he wanted to write me a long email to let me know how unworthy black women are. Like, you know what I mean? How black women are. And you know what's so interesting? I dated a Norwegian for 18 years, and he never devalued me. He never he never treated me poorly. He was amazing. So I had to figure out why I was dating men that, and you know, this is so crazy. You know, my last boyfriend is a rocket scientist. Like, he's a scientist. And I was dating these unintelligent men, and the reason I call them unintelligent is not the fact that they're not intelligent. They're unhealed, so they take their pain out on the feminine energy. And that's how I can have grace and have love for them, and I feel bad for them because they don't even realize that their words are like cut like a knife. And so when you do that to a person, and like I said, the second person literally told me that black women are unvaluable. What I love, it cracks me up because he stated some statistics. And what's going on right now, what's trending, you guys? The black wife effect. That's why I've been showing you that, because whatever tries to take away your value, guess what happens? Source will elevate your value to prove to all the dark energy that he holds your value as a high value. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Because people will come in and try to devalue you. So while I am doing all that work, I begin to take all those words, even though he put them in writing. And whenever somebody does something like that to you, realize that words are spells. Do not let anybody just talk to you any old kind of way, because words are spells. And so I love how Source works, because when that happened, he goes, you know what? I'm going to show you something, Sarah. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you your value. And so as I started doing my work, and it's so crazy because I think that's what the feminine energy is like. When a man can't control you, he will devalue you. When a person can't control you, they'll devalue you, because they have to have you weak in order to have that control. And so, um, what's so interesting is the black wife effect is driving people nuts. The black wife effect is profounding men that think black women are unvaluable. So, with that said, I'm now dating, and I'm dating like 3 to 4 times a week. So, I have this one gentleman that is aggressive right now. Okay, I have one that's aggressive. So, what I am doing, and so when you get a man that's really aggressive, you know, it's kind of like a fine line, because you can have a man like that is like the second R that I dated. He basically just kept whining and dining me, not with action, with words. Not with action, with words. Like my first one, like he really took time to get to know me. We really spent a lot of time getting to know each other. We just were not a match, because I have certain things that I'm looking for. Scorpios have a very difficult time finding love, because people don't go deep. They're very we want to go deep. We want to go deep into the soul of a person. And so it's very important that we see, and this is so crazy, because even when we're dating, they'll look us straight in the eye, and intuitively we can tell you're lying. We can tell you're lying. So as I'm dating, I was I'm I the guy that I really would like to get to know, I did a no show. It was an accidental no show. I didn't do that purposely. I didn't do that. So now what I'm doing, and that's why I want you to guys to know, my TikTok is Hey Gorgeous You. And I am doing a non-compete contract. I'm dating right now 1, 2, 3 guys. I'm dating 3 guys. And so they are going to sign a non-compete. And so what I'm doing is I'm having them all sign contracts. And so you guys can watch my journey, because I got permission to have them on my that I could film them and talk about them in my journey, my journey. Now, the one of the guys, and I think this is what's hard, and girls, this is the thing that has been hard for me, is, there's one guy that is just very like, and that's why, that's one thing I'll say. That's why, when a man wants something, he gonna go for it. He ain't gonna gaslight you. He ain't gonna give you like sweet nothings, and you never. The one that is really pursuing me hard, he told me right away. I am not playing. I want a relationship with you. I like you. I had my eye on you for a minute, and he goes, I'll show you. So this is the difference. He's not just saying it, he's showing it with action. So now that I'm going to be doing new things with my channel, I'm going to soften it here on YouTube because I'm in a lot of trouble right now because of community guidelines. But I don't like to go with trends. I like when you guys when I come on, I'm like straight. This is if you talk to my friends, if you talk to people that know me, if you talk to my exes, they will tell you I am just consistent. I'm consistent. I am, I go by what I'm feeling. So what I was feeling on YouTube, they ain't feeling me, so they got me. I'm in trouble right now. So I have to keep it soft. And whoever reported me, I forgive you. I forgive you. I know, especially when I talk about the masculine energy not showing up. I know it's hard for them. I know and especially because we got some of our men are mad at the black women, you know, but a lot of men love black women. Statistically, they have done the numbers. So, with that said, I don't have a problem dating. So, it's so crazy. I'm going to cool it out. And I came on here to really share with you guys that I feel right now this is a good time energetically to date if you want to date. Because you remember, I told you girls, like, I told the girls, like, when you guys went into your Noni fast, you will know in your spirit when it's time. And it's okay because it's okay if you have no libido and you don't want to date anybody. Because I was like that for 2.5 years. I was single for 2.5 years because I chose it. And that's the beautiful thing about being her because you have a choice. You have a choice. I wish that where did I have that? Let me see if I can find it. Um, Let me see if I can find it. On this. Um, I'm actually talking to a guy, and what is so interesting is that I mean, the moment you love yourself, it is a reflection of love all around you. It's a reflection of love all around you. You will not be unloved the moment you find and you are loved. And it is so crazy because we're going into a time that connection is going to be the most valuable currency. The fact that so many horrific things, that's why I'm on community guidelines, because I've been displaying the awful things that has been going on in our society with how men have been treating women and children. And so I'm not going on that topic right now, but I'm just saying that's why I got kind of like, I'm trying to move my leg because I'm getting hoarse. That's why I got it for community guidelines. But um, it is definitely a crisis, but I think that crisis is pushing the masculine, divine masculine, into finding purpose. And I just had a beautiful conversation with one of my, he's a longtime client that has become friends. We've become friends. And if you know what, I would love to match him Uh, he is a wealthy man, extremely handsome. He is very handsome. Um, he's he does fundraisers. He gives to his community. He's integrated into his community. He's about 55. He is very, like a lot of guys, they don't keep up with themselves. They don't take care of themselves. They look a hot mess. And then, you know what's so crazy? A man will look a hot mess and we'll date him anyway. We give our energy to ugly men and make them feel better about themselves, and they will do you wrong, because it's something about giving an ugly man a chance makes his ego elevate. And that doesn't mean that, you know, ugly men don't deserve love. They do. But when you treat someone poorly, so back to my friend, I would love to find maybe a Cancer or a Scorpio. I think would work for him. He's never had children. He is very established, millionaire. Um, you just have to be a woman. You got to be feminine. Men are looking for feminine women, and men are having a hard time finding feminine women because women, I think like you can be empowered and you can have, a power business, but the moment you walk out of your business, you need to shake the masculine energy off and go into your feminine energy. Allow yourself to go into the feminine energy. You need the feminine energy. We need the feminine energy, right? And so it's rather interesting because, I've been coaching him almost 7 years, and he is an amazing guy. He's a Taurus, really amazing. We are very good friends, and I would just really love to see him find love. Find love. I think it's hard for divine masculines. It's hard for divine masculines because divine masculines, especially if they're handsome, they everything comes to them. Everything unhealed, everything unhealed comes to them, and so then they find themselves alone, not because they don't have their. And I don't know why women will date a guy that's not so good looking because they think it's safe. And then when they see a guy that, like, because Steve, if he walks in the room, you'll notice him because he's very handsome. Okay? Women are afraid of handsome men because they think that the handsome man will do them wrong. But a lot of times it's the guy that is not so good looking that will do a woman a certain kind of way because they don't feel like they deserve her. And they probably don't. That's why they be acting like Dusties. You know. So I gotta be careful what I say. Cause it's I gotta be real careful what I say. Cause I don't know if I say Dusty what that means. I don't know if they know what that means. I don't know if that's gonna cause me any troubles. But that's really what's going on. And so if there's anybody out there, inbox me. I would have to interview you. I would have to see you first because he's my bestie. And but this is a sister telling you, and let me tell you how a sister said he is fine, and he's smart, and he's good, and he's honest, right? He's and he's a Taurus. Tauruses are faithful men, you know. Geminis, sometimes they can be very. Geminis are not as faithful. Yeah, no. But yeah, he's a good guy. So if y'all come on, if any of y'all come on this For You page, and you are single, looking for an attractive person that is successful, Miss Sarah has the person for you. But I will interview you, and it won't be just anyone, because he deserves the best. Yes, he does. So now that I told you that I'm dating, I look forward. I love it because before I even go on a date with the person, I tell them, "Are you open to be part of my journey of dating?" And you will be on some of my videos, and they actually all said yes. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know how it's gonna work. It's gonna be so interesting. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. If I can be on time, if I can be on time, and if I, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe it. I am sick about that. I am sick about totally and I bet you he was in his mind thinking I blew him off, and I didn't blow him off. I just went to the wrong place. So, but if he gives me another chance, it will be worth his while. Yeah, yeah. And you know how, wait, this is the most interesting thing. How I got him to finally ask me out, which was really, I thought that was ingenious. I finally got him to ask me out because, oh, I'm sorry, I got a text from one of my clients. I I I I finally got him. This is how I got him to ask me out. He had called me one day. He goes, what did you do this weekend?" And I go, "Oh, I went on a date." And he goes, "You went on a date?" I go, "Yeah. I'm single." And he asked me out. And then the guy last week, no, it's 4th of July. It was 4th of July. He canceled 3 times. No, twice. Twice. And then he canceled it twice. The second time he canceled, I go, "Hey, I'm gonna decline um, this date, because I don't 3 strikes you're out. Like, I'm not gonna have you do the first strike." He was at a party. He left the party, and he took me to this exclusive club, which I didn't even know was exclusive. My client told me it was exclusive. You have to be a member to go into it. I didn't know. But we had a fabulous time and a wonderful dinner. But like I said, I'm going back to that looping. I'm having this nice dinner with this man in an exclusive club, which in Austin, I do not understand. They can be in an exclusive club and they wear shorts. You can't do that in Arizona. They have dress codes, but here you can dress any way you want in an exclusive club. So we're sitting there and we're just chatting, having drinks. You know, he's got shorts and sandals on, not bad looking. He's a builder, and I look down and he's got a deformed foot. He's got a deformed foot. So I'm trying to figure this out because my ex husband had a deformed foot. And then I went through this period that everybody had good feet. And then when I moved to Austin, the last 6 years, my last boyfriend had a deformed foot. So then when I saw his foot, I go like, dude, what does this mean? Because we're in a loop. We're in assimilation. We got to remember that we're in that loop and we're in that assimilation. And in order to not repeat this stuff again, you must remember. So I'm trying to remember my journey. I'm trying to remember. And so it's so interesting. And you know his foot. This is what's so crazy about the foot. It wasn't like he was born with a foot that was deformed. It wasn't like he was born like that. It was like he broke his toe and didn't set it. So number one, when I saw that, I got triggered. I'm at this date. I'm totally healed, but I'm triggered, right? So I'm like, what is the deal with me and these deformed feet? Why I keep running into guys that have deformity of the feet? What is going on? So I looked it up, the spiritual meaning. Guess what the spiritual meaning of, like, when somebody has a deformed foot is that they have unhealed energy and they're not grounded. So now that I've done my healing and integration, and I don't care how much money you got, I really don't care. You know, like I have girlfriends like, why would you break up with him? He has so much. I don't care about their money. I can make my own money. I really don't care about a man's money. That doesn't make him a good man. That don't give him character. That doesn't give him, oh, because he can buy you things, because that, you know, he can give you a lifestyle. Like, really? I've been with men that have money. Or pretty much my dating life. It doesn't make the man. That doesn't make a man. So it's so interesting because I said, well, I gotta like really think about this because like ungrounded. And so if I hadn't gone through the healing process 2 years ago, I probably would have just looked over that and went on another date, and then realized that I was dating the same man in a different suit. You get what I'm saying? So that's why if you don't heal and if you don't do your total healing, all you do is you take your unhealed self to another relationship and you put that pathetic all over their body and you date the unhealedness again and again and again. And that's why you feel like you're in assimilation, you're in a loop, because you have not taken the time to heal yourself. So then you're running into the same thing. And then you're wondering why, well, I try to do a guy that's not my type. I get the same thing. I do the guy that is totally different from my ex, and I get the same thing. It's because it's not about the men. It's about the unhealing that you have in your heart. And when you're unhealed and you haven't worked out those shadows and those dark nights of the soul, then you're going to keep repeating. And it's so crazy because it's very, for me, even, maybe it's, I don't know if it's because I'm a Scorpio, because I've been told I don't care how they look. I don't care if they're handsome. I don't care if they're not handsome. I don't care if they got money. They can be, if they're dusty, they're dusty. I mean, you can't change a person's character through the things that they have. Their character is etched in stone in them. And unless they do a profound awakening and wake up from their ways, you're going to run into the same thing. And so it's not about them changing, it's about you changing your precepts of how you see um, the person that you're trying to see, show yourself in the world to. And so always have that inner log. What do I see about myself when I look in the mirror? Always have that, analog in your mind that, and I'm telling you, once you're healed, you will heal all the trauma. And the thing about trauma is always, you're always working on your trauma. You're always working on your trauma. But the thing is, you are a work in progress, so your outcome with people, places, and things will change because you're in the process. When you're not in any process, you're just stagnant, and you're gonna meet that stagnant energy over and over and over again, and you're gonna just repeat and you're gonna repeat. And that's why women are exhausted right now. That's why women don't want to have nothing to do with men. They don't want to have anything to do with relationships. They don't want to open. Some of them are even going to they went from men to women, because at least with women they have peace and they won't have disease, right? So you got this dialogue that's going on in our society that's exhausting the human experience. And so when you got all that noise going in and you're not doing your work, you how can you identify someone's unhealed until you go through their unhealing with them? And you don't want that karma. You don't want to live in that karma. A lot of men have relationship problems with their mothers that they never taken care of. They never taken care of. So they see you as their mother. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna treat you like they did not have an opportunity to treat their mother, because their mother was an authority over them. And then the moment they get into a relationship with a woman, they pour out what they couldn't pour out into their mother on you. So that's why when you see a man treat you poorly, and when a man will say horrible things to you that are unwarranted, they're they're coming from their unhealed mother wound, because now through you they can really unleash how they truly feel about their mother. And it's really not about you, it just plays out in you because he's unhealed. And so you have to be in touch with yourself enough that the moment you feel that, and you feel like, the moment a man starts criticizing you and critiquing you about your weight, critiquing you about how you look, the way you wear your hair, he does not love you. He does not care about you. He doesn't care about you. My ex that was a Scorpio, that is a scientist. Like, there was times I looked busted, and he'd be working on business out of the country, and I'd be looking busted, and I would I would I would like FaceTime him, and he goes, "You look so beautiful." Like, right? That's that's what a man does when he's in love with his woman. He sees no fault in her. He only sees love. He doesn't have statistics for her. He only sees love. You see what I'm saying? And the very ones that hurt you and that try to break you down, those are the ones that stalk you on your social media. Those are the ones that are watching you constantly, because they know you were the prize and they lost you. Let me say that again. They will stalk you because they know you were the prize and they lost you. Why? Because they were unhealed, and they took that unhealed energy and they put it on you. And it's not your fault that they didn't have their mother's support, whatever. You know what I mean? That's not your fault. And so the more I'm just so happy that I can come and actually say, girls, you can date now. If you're ready, you can date. Because now you're smarter, you're wiser, and you're in love with self. So you guys, like and follow me. Thank you for showing up and showing out. And oh my gosh, I love you guys so much. And I appreciate you being here, spending some time with me. Bye now.